Welcome back to another edition of the Eleusinian Society. A few years back, I noticed some Templar and Masonic imagery hidden in the tarot cards, such as the pillars in the High Priestess card and the crown on the Hierophant card. This led me down a journey of study that has lasted half a decade, devoting much of my free time to the art of the occult and the mystery of esotericism. Decoding the symbols of these cards has led me to believe that they are in some way related to Gnostic biblical stories, suppressed through centuries of conquest, disease, and battle for power. Fortune tellers today may use tarot imagery in their profession for soothsaying, but I believe that they were created as a way for members of a secret society to relay information to members and future members through occult imagery in the face of being persecuted and killed for their practices. So, today we lift our weighted arms to the sky as we look into the 8th card of the Rider-Waite Tarot deck, Strength. Strength is a very unique card from the others we reviewed, not so much in its symbolism, but in its simplicity. We see a young woman wearing a white robe, laden with a floral belt, who in a very calm manner is petting a lion. There's not much going on in the landscape of the card, except for a few mountains in the background. The figure has the infinity symbol above their head, similar to the Magician card, but what do these represent? To start, let's look at the pink elephant in the room, or rather the orange lion. The lion has had a long-lasting tradition of representing several things throughout history, both physical and metaphysical. Perhaps one of the oldest representations of a lion in history is the Great Sphinx of Giza, the guardian of the pyramids. The Sphinx was said to have been built by the pharaoh Khafre approximately 4,500 years ago, but new evidence suggests that it could be much older. In 1973, a team of American researchers drilled under the Sphinx's left paw and used sonar to locate underground spaces that may lie under the monument. A part of this exploration, archaeologists found erosion rings around the base of the Sphinx. Water erosion. In the desert? The last time that Egypt had enough flooding in the Giza region to make such rings was 9,000 years ago, several millennia before the building of the pyramids. Because of this, it is my belief that the Sphinx is much older than modern accepted theory, and that the image of Khafre's bust found on top of the Sphinx was added much later. The carving style around the face and head does not match the style to the rest of the body. So, let's take a look. See how small the head is compared to the body? The statue probably had a lion's head before the pharaoh had his builders carve his head into it. But this lion, although the oldest of representations, is not what I believe the Strength card represents. In a later card, I will reveal why this representation of a lion is extremely important though, but that's for a later video. The interpretation of this card, according to Arthur Waite, is very intriguing. Although the card is called Strength, it actually can be described closer to composure. The ability to keep calm under duress is a skill that, well, in today's age is quite uncommon. The lion is a natural-born killer, the king of the savannah, eating and slashing its way through the animal world. Because they travel in groups called prides, the image of a lion also represents loyalty. But in this specific use, a young lady pets a lion with a certain calmness despite the ferocious beast having the ability to kill her in an instant. So let's dissect the woman in this card to have a better chance at deciphering it. The young woman is wearing white, a symbol that we've talked about quite a bit as representing purity, but also having ties to the ancient Essenes, an order of monastic Jews who used white as their color of choice. She has a floral sash or belt which is relatively similar to the flora in the Magician and Hierophant cards. In those cards we established that the vines and flowers were representative of the bloodline of Yeshua, with white lilies representing the innocence upon death and red roses representing blood and passion. This card only shows us the red roses, which could mean that this figure is yet again another relative of Jesus. But who? That is when I realized The Bible and the Lion. Where in the Bible have we heard of lions? And no, I'm not talking about Daniel in the lion's den, but an arguably more important lion that graced much of the ancient Judean world. Throughout history, the Holy Land has seen many kingdoms rise and fall, many of which were founded by the families of biblical greats. The grandsons of Abraham split up from their homeland and founded 12 tribes of Israel. One of these grandsons, Judah, pronounced in Hebrew as Yehuda, son of Jacob and Leah, founded the kingdom of Judah. It is his name that influenced the naming of the region of Judea, as well as the word Jew, as Jewish people were the predominant inhabitants of Judea. And as you probably have guessed, his kingdom was represented by the image of a lion, the Lion of Judah. Now, how am I sure that this is the lion within the Strength card? The young woman in the card has complete control over the lion. A lion that would normally be aggressive has its tail between its legs for this woman. And therefore, I believe that just as how a kingdom can bow down to a leader, so too can the Lion of Judah bow down to someone equally as important. In my years of study, there has been many controversial things that come up biblically that most Christians today would consider completely insane if mentioned. But here we go. Found in both the Berlin Codices and the Nag Hammadi Library Codices, there is a Gnostic text by the name of the Sophia of Jesus Christ. The entire book can be summarized basically as this. In early Gnosticism, there was a belief that people had a male and female counterpart to their soul, also called soulmates. Sophia was said to have been the female counterpart of the soul of Jesus. These texts also reveal that she is the Holy Spirit part of the Holy Trinity. Sophia means wisdom, which could also be attributed to the teachings of Christ being transferred to future disciples after his death. Basically, in this theory of Gnostic origins, it is believed that there was a female being by the name of Sophia who was the perfect female half of Christ. Whether or not this female being was human or more of a concept of wisdom passed through his ministry is still up for debate. But the ties to the Strength card is this. When Christ died, the spiritual teachings that he gave to humanity inspired many across ancient Judea to continue his ministry through schools of thought and secret societies. The female figure represents the influence that Yeshua's ministry had on the governing body of Judea, which at the time was ruled by the Roman Empire. Eventually, the pagan religion of ancient Rome would kneel to Christianity and become the Holy Roman Empire, the largest single religious institution this world has ever seen, which spread its influence from Britain to France, Germany to Denmark, and so on. Strength is the understanding of playing the long game, the tortoise and the hare. The knowledge that what we do now has a direct influence on our futures, and how one man's ministry can lead to the largest religion in the world, with nearly 2.4 billion followers strong as of 2020. I'd like to thank you for joining us again on another edition of the Eleusinian Society. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to see more of our videos. Thank you.